Today, I'm sitting down with Preston Harris, who has done the work, just didn't talk about it. He built the $10 million plus business. We're going to break it down, everything that he's done. If you're curious, he's an amazing husband, father of two little girls. And so he is not only building a tremendous real estate business for himself and his wife and his family, uh, you know, it takes a lot to do what he's doing. So thank you for, I know, carving out the time, number one, for being here, because I know time is short for you right now.
Yeah, and thanks for having me. And I have to go ahead and throw it out there. I have the best real estate coach, Marissa Boyle. So I'm grateful to be a part of this podcast today.
Well, thank you. Well, you ready to dive in?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So hit me with what was your 2025 production?
2025 production was 11.5 million.
Okay. And how many
Um,
units was that about?
about 26.
Okay, cool. So 26. And then what are you projecting for 2026?
Individually, I'll be around 15 million. I'm already at 6 million for the year, which is awesome.
It was March.
Yeah, it's March. So we capped in February. Our cap changes in January. So we've already hit that. And then I told you this, but I brought my wife on with me, and we're projecting to do around 25 million this year.
Incredible. And how many units do you think that'll be?
Anywhere from 40 to 50.
Okay, 40. Yeah, that's a lot of production. So that's exciting. Okay, talk me through before you got into real estate, like who were you? Like what were you doing? And then what was that change that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. Real estate was a passion of mine forever. Like I thought I was going to be in real estate even back when I was in college. I went to Appalachian State, so local guy here. But when I went into a sales role, a corporate sales role, it was recruiting and staffing. Basically, I partnered with Fortune 500 companies around the local Charlotte market to help them find incumbent staffing. So when they needed new talent, that was what my team went out and did. And so what happened, I'd done that 6 or 7 years, and I'd fallen into this corporate trap where I was making good money, but I wasn't really enjoying my job. I wasn't enjoying my career. I felt like there was a fulfillment that was missing. And, there was a silver lining to the pandemic. Obviously, the pandemic was such a hard thing, but the silver lining for me was it gave me the opportunity to actually go chase my goals, because we were literally sitting at home all day, every day. And I'd always said, I want to do real estate. I want to go build a business. I want it to be mine. And so that's what I did. So I was literally working a corporate job, and I started taking online classes to get my real estate license. And I told my girlfriend at the time, now wife Lauren, I said, hey, look, I'm going to pass this exam. I'm going to keep my corporate job for a year or two and try to figure it out. And at some point, I'm going full time in this thing. We're going to make this successful. And that's exactly what has happened.
Yeah. That is the one thing that I notice about you is like whatever you say you're gonna do, you do. And that I hope you know how rare that is. Where it's like you say it, I'm like, if Preston says it, it's as good as done.
Yeah.
And I just hope you know how rare that is.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Now, I'll tell you this, the first coffee I ever had when I got my real estate license was with a very successful broker in the Charlotte market. And I told him kind of my plan. I said, I'm a breadwinner in my family. I can't just quit my job. I have things I've got to do. I've got bills I've got to pay. I can't just quit. And they said, hey, I think it's going to be really difficult for you to be successful in this industry. And I said, cool, noted. And so I went on and kept working my corporate job while I was building real estate on the side my first year. And funny enough, I saw that person a few years later in a coffee shop. And they said, what's funny about you, Preston, is you were the only person who ever actually did what they said they were going to do. Of all the people I meet, you're the only one who ever actually went and did it. And so I thought that was kind of a cool testament.
Yeah. And then how long did you stay dual career before you went full time? And like kind of what was that decision point?
Yeah, I think I'm actually trying to remember. It was probably a year and a half, maybe two, kind of heading towards two. And the first year of real estate was really difficult for me. It was pandemic still, and I was a 100% a buyer's agent, and I was walking up to houses, and there were already 30 offers on every house. So like I was falling on my face pretty much daily. And so the first year I chalked up as like, I'm gonna fail and learn as much as possible this year, and I'm gonna try to make a little money while I do it. Year two was fun because then year two, I did a handful of deals. Year one, went to year two and doubled. And so by year two, I'm going, okay, now I'm basically at the exact same salary as what my corporate salary is. So I had two kind of double incomes, right? Flash forward to year three, and I told my wife, like, I'll quit my corporate job when the real estate business tells me I have to. And by year 3, it was like a floodgate opened for me. And all of a sudden, it was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm struggling. I was working 60 hours a week. I couldn't make it. And so it became a no-brainer. The business forced me to quit, and that's exactly what I was hoping would happen.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
then even you ended up, retiring your wife into real estate with you too.
Well, yeah, that's the crazy part is so we had her go get her license, and I said, "Hey, I want you to build the business the exact same way I did it. I want you to put your head down. I want you to grind. I want you to work your corporate job." Because keep in mind, at this point, she's headed towards like a VP role. Like
Yeah, yeah,
she's very successful
I
and
remember, she's like, "Really, Preston? We're"
right. Like she's basically a director at this point. She's heading towards a very good career path. And I said, "Hey, don't lose that. Like go build, put your head down, go build while you're doing it, and then like do the exact same thing I did when the business tells you to quit. Quit." Well, funny thing is, it couldn't have been 6 or 7 months later between the gas that was coming to my business, along with just like she's such a rock star. Like I knew she was going to kind of take off quickly. I think 7, maybe 8 months later, we're like, "You've got to quit. Like I need you full time in this business." And so the funny thing for her is like we went through your training, your $10 million training. Like shout out to that. And the first 6 or 7 months after she did that training, she's like, "Man, I am just not seeing success." And I
Mhm.
said, "You're doing the right activity. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be so successful." And next month, she has 7 closings by herself,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and
So,
that's yeah, and I mean, Lauren, like, hello, Lauren, shout out to
yeah,
Lauren, is she
yeah,
is amazing, and but you know the other thing about the 2 of you, like, you guys are just such a you're my favorite spouses selling houses duo.
yeah,
Like, it's just fun. The thing with, Lauren is even she trusted that the work works, and so do
right.
you, and that is also rare where it's like, it's compounding, right? And you have to build and it's a long man's game, but once you get there, it's like you can't be beat
Yeah,
because you've got all of it in place. But yeah, I remember some conversations with her and same thing. I was like, "You're doing all the right things, just stay with it." And she
yeah,
actually did. Right?
yep,
Like that's the
yep.
punchline. It's like, and she actually did.
Yeah, and like shout out to her. She will hit 10 million this year, her first full year. Like,
I
and
know.
that's incredible.
Yeah, we'll get her on here next, but
Yeah,
yeah, she's a badass. And so are you. So okay, back to you. So
yeah.
tell me, what do you feel like so you hit 10,000,000 2025 or 11 and a half. So what kinda do you feel like was that what changed or what was that inflection point for you? Like, is
Yeah,
there anything you can identify?
I was disappointed the year prior. I only did 7 million the year prior, which I don't think there's many agents that are like, "Man, that's a terrible year." But for me, it felt like a terrible year. It really did. I had this big goal. I was going to hit 10 million, and we had welcomed our first child into the family, and then some other personal stuff had come that year. And I think I just kind of got distracted, right? And I think that's part of life. It can happen. And then um, I turned the year, and I was like, "This is my year." And then immediately after that, I took your $10 million training, which started in February.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, what I did was I realized I didn't have a ton of systems in place. Like I really was going by the seat of my pants. The other thing was I had resistance. Like I knew the work that I needed to do, and I'm okay looking in the mirror saying I either did the work today or I didn't. But I really struggle with sometimes somebody saying, "Hey, I really need you to do something difficult," and then me still continuing to have to go do it. Right? Like I will fight
Yeah.
that. I know I will. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I do not want to do that. Please don't make me." And so we hit your $10 million training in February, and we got a bunch of systems aligned, and we got our safety nets up so that when people were following up with us, we were prepared for that kind of thing. We had never tracked what our pipeline was. We never tracked like who are our current clients, who's the hot clients, where do they fall in the sales funnel, who's our future pipeline, like who do we need to be following up with every single month. And we weren't doing any of that. And so I think once we were able to put processes in place like February, March, April, May that year, all of a sudden it was like a no-brainer. There's no way I'm not hitting 10 million. And so we closed the year over 10, and then we're still doing that work today. And I think that's what's going to take us to a place of scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. People always ask, they're like, "Is this for beginner, intermediate, advanced?" I'm like, "It's for everyone." It is literally
Everyone.
an operating system that can take you to 100,000,000 if you wanted to. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, it's funny you say that because that took us over 10 million, right? That took me over 10 million. Um, Now I'm going to retake the class the next go
mhm.
round because I'm going to be a $15 million agent. How do I get to 25? And naturally you're going to forget some things, right? Like along the way, like it's just human nature. So like being able to come back and then resharpen those skills, like I
Yeah.
think that's a huge advantage. And I think it's for everybody.
Yeah, and you and I share a very similar personality with, like, the meet we're just gonna meet people with medium high resistance. We're just skeptical people or, like, we're like, "Man, we don't you know what? I'm already doing 7,000,000, I'm good,"
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then it's like, "No, I'm not. That's a
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah. The
I'm gonna
needle
do
always
it."
moves, right?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I just I appreciate that too. And you're that way too, where it's like you wanna dig deeper, not wider. So it's like
Yeah.
just deeper and deeper and deeper. So, yeah, you can yeah, yeah. No surprise when you guys hit 25 this year,
Yeah.
just by
Yeah.
by what I see happening.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what's your number 1 source of business today, and is that different than what it was when you first started?
Yeah, my number one source of business has not changed. It's still the same. Um, real estate. I'll quote Marissa Boyle. Real estate is a contact sport.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm out in the community like all day, every day. Like when I look at who our clients are, it's nothing crazy. It's just me living my life, but doing it
yeah,
in a way where I build really meaningful relationships and I create great friendships and like that naturally brings on clients that we want to work with, right? Like people that are already like an extension of our family. And so a lot of my business comes from like just going to the gym, just
yeah,
being consistent, going to
yes,
run club, like going to networking events, like doing all the things that I would want to do, like just going to a brewery and hanging out and like talking to people while I'm there, even if they're strangers, like it's okay to like go build relationships with people you don't know.
yes,
And so that's never changed for me, and I think a lot of agents get into the industry and they're like, "I'm a nice person, and, business will just come because I'm nice." And it's like, "No, you have to, like, go participate, like, you have to actually go out into the community and be involved in it, and if you're not involved, like, people aren't gonna work with you." And so, to this day, I have certain things in my calendar that are recurring, and they're fun social events, and I don't miss them because that's what I love to do, that's where business comes from, and that's where it'll continue to come from. So nothing has changed for me from day 1 in the business to, now going into year 5.
yeah. Well, and then so something I wanna point out too, so it's like you because people are listening, they're like, "Oh, yeah, just go be involved." I wanna point out how hyper specific you were, where it was at one point you were a member of 2 gyms. At one point, you either considered or did move which church you guys went to have a better demographic, and
Yeah,
even you know what I mean? And then the run
yeah,
club thing, so I'm like, if you're listening to this, it's like, yes, go out and be involved in it as a contact sport, and you have to ask for the business, but I also can you just talk about because that's
yeah,
next level, right?
yeah, like, I don't wanna sound crazy, but that does sound crazy, but,
It's what
like,
it takes.
it is what it takes, and you do have to be strategic, and so I've been very specific this year in growing my business about who do I actually wanna work with, in years 1, 2, 3, it was, "I'll work with anybody, just give me a shot," right? For me now that business has changed to who do I want to work with? And so for me, I'm very specific in what I'm doing. I'm very specific in the areas that I choose to hang out with. I want to be in places where I know the people are great people. I also know they're professionals, but I also think they're really nice families. And so I want to go hang out with people that not just I enjoy hanging out with, but also my kids can hang out with and my
Yep.
wife can hang out with, and we enjoy it. And it's a true extension of our family. And so that's how I've become more strategic. And naturally, we've begun to work with more families. Most of our business now is young families, and that's who we enjoy working with. And those people also understand the stage of life we're going through. So there's a natural sync of like understanding business and life, and that tends to work really well for us.
Yeah. That cracks me up too, because it's like understanding the stage of life. I remember when I was sitting with you and Lauren and you're like, "A vacation, Marissa." It's like, "We go to our living room. We have 2 little kids, like, we're not going anywhere."
People are like, "Are you
That
taking the
just
kids
made me
out to
laugh.
dinner?" I'm like, "No." Like, "Are you
What?
kidding me?" Like, that sounds terrible right now. We have a
Yeah.
1-year-old and a 3-year-old, like, maybe in a couple years.
Yeah, you're like, "We go to the" I was just dying. I was like, "We go to the
Yeah.
living room." I was like, "Got it, okay."
Yeah.
Um, okay, so tell me when you think of, $10 million agent training and the systems we use, like, which one stands out to you as the most impactful? Is it the pipeline board,
Yeah.
top 50, safety nets, like and I wanna talk about Black Bat in a second because you're,
Yeah, yeah, for
like, a
sure.
shining example, so we'll talk about that one in a minute, but, like, out of the sales systems, which one stands out?
Yeah, I would say, and this was really hard for me to choose because there's so many amazing things we took from it, but, like, the pipeline board was huge. Just the visibility of understanding who are our true clients and who's a maybe, right? Because I used to get really caught up. I'd meet somebody and they wanted to buy real estate, and I'd be talking about them 12 months later and they had no intent of ever buying real estate, and I just got very confused and my mind got very cluttered about who's a true client and who's truly going to transact in real estate with Harris Realty Team. And so the pipeline board, it was like they're either on and they're hot or they're off the board completely, right? And so just small changes like that, I think were really good. The other thing that was really important for us was safety nets.
Mm,
We had 0 safety nets set up, and we implemented a biweekly flow desk that goes out to all of our past clients and everybody in our database. And then we send out reminder invites for events that we're throwing and things of that nature. And we've only had that system set up for probably less than a year, maybe right at a year. I bet we've got 7 clients out of it.
incredible.
Yeah, in 1 year. And so I'll give you an example. I had a new client reach out last week, and it was somebody I really hit it off with at an open house. We talked golf, and I was going, man, I hope this guy works with me because like I really enjoy him. And 6, 7 months later, hadn't really heard anything, couple follow-ups, whatever. And I get a random calendar invite for a call.
You're like, yes.
And I'm like, wait, who's this? And it was literally a calendar invite to hop on a call because they're moving to Charlotte now. And the guy goes, "Hey, I know you don't remember me, but like we need a realtor. We're moving to Charlotte. Like we're ready to go, and I really liked you when we met." And I literally respond back like, "I remember exactly who you are. Like we're stoked to work with you." And so I say all that to say like, had we not had that safety net set up, like I don't know that I would have got that invite.
Yeah.
Like
And
maybe
don't and, like, my thing is, like, stop guessing, just do it, right?
just do
Like,
it right.
just do
And
it.
here's the thing: we've picked up. I kid you not, in the past year, we probably picked up 7 clients from safety nets. So like that's huge. How do I not say that's one of the biggest things we could have done?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's so interesting too, and then there's a couple things that you do as a salesperson is you tell people that you like them, and that's such, like, a underrated hack to get
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, "I enjoy you. I wanna work
Yeah.
with you. I like you."
I'm kinda weird in that way, like, when I meet people I like,
Same.
I'm like, "Hey, I actually like you, like, you wanna, like, be friends?" And I know it's so weird, but, like, it's just me, it's how I operate, and, like, I want people to know that I actually like them and value them, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, and I like it, and so it's like, he sent you the calendar invite, which is like
Right.
it's like, that's some year 5 stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're good. So, okay, if are you going to get that country club membership with the 25 million in production this year?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I've been playing a couple different places and kind of figuring out where do we want to be. And it goes back to I meet a lot of people through doing things I enjoy doing. Like I don't go out of my realm to try to find new clients. Like I just go do what I enjoy and then I naturally meet people that way. I love playing golf. I'm playing today at 2:30 by the way, so I have a tee time already set up.
You're ready to go.
But I played last week and met a guy who's like, "Hey, I want a new house and I want to invest in real estate." And I got to talk to him about how we have 7 rental properties. And I was like, when the time comes, like, I'm your guy. And he was like, absolutely. So yes, we are 100% joining the
Yay.
country club this year. The kids are going to get the pool, all that good stuff. And then, it's just another good way for us to enjoy our life, but
Yeah,
also to build our
and it's just,
business.
like, from, like, a coaching standpoint, it's just exciting to me to, like, see the progression where it's, like, like you said, like, Lauren was your girlfriend, now she's your
Yeah.
wife, now you have 2
Yeah.
little girls, like, you've always been an intentional member of the community, and now it's, like, your favorite thing to do is, like, go golf, and now it's, like, you get to do like,
Right.
all of it just comes together, and so it's
Right.
I don't know, I had to ask because I was like, it's a cool milestone moment.
Yeah, it is, and it's something we've been wanting to do for years and just haven't really had the means to do either, right? Like, transparently, and so the fact that we have the means to do some of this kinda stuff now, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, let's talk about black bat. I don't wanna go too far off on a tangent, but
Yeah,
it's super important to me, so it's the goal with the Make It, Keep It Invested is buy one rental property every year you sell real estate to kind of stabilize and make sure that we're actually kind of absorbing what we what we do as salespeople is owning our own rentals, and you just talk me through, like, you started house hacking, and then how did you go to 7 rentals? Like, it's
yeah.
incredible.
It's crazy to think back on, honestly. So I knew I wanted to do real estate back in college, and one of the books I read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And Rich Dad Poor Dad was like huge for me. It was like talking about how many income streams you needed to have to be wealthy and all that kind of stuff. So when we got into real estate, I had always said I want to do rentals.
Mhm.
I did not actually think like I need to start taking action until I joined Marissa Boyle Coaching. And a part of Marissa Boyle Coaching, for all those that don't know, is you have to buy a rental property a year, one per year, to be in the coaching program and to be successful in it. And so I came
And
home
to
to
be
Lauren.
so yeah, you can be in it, but to be successful in it and
Well,
get what
to
you
be
want.
successful, right? Yeah. And so let me distinguish.
Yeah.
And so I went home to Lauren, and I was so pent up with energy, right? I was like, I had such a great coaching session. Like, we've got to buy a rental property. Well, the cool thing was we already both owned real estate, and I had seen how much equity we had in those properties, and I'd seen how much I'd been saving and investing for years. And we had more equity in real estate than we did in 10 years of me saving and investing. And I was like, oh, this is like, I'm like, huh, maybe we need to buy more real estate. And so that's exactly what we did. So we sold, I had a condo. I didn't think it'd be a great rental. We sold it. We went and bought our first home together, and then we had money left over, because we did a FHA loan on our house, and we had enough money left over to go buy our first rental property, our first true one. And bittersweet, we just sold that property, and liquidated it so we could go get into some better investments. But that was the most important one because that started the journey. And then Lauren already had a townhome, which we thought would be a great rental, which we still have to this day. And then so at that point, now we've got 3 properties, right? So we went from kind of
Just
like a
like it's
couple to
like
3. Yeah, it just starts quick. And then it was just kind of we're gonna follow Marissa's playbook. We're gonna buy 1 a year. And so that's what we did was when we had our corporate jobs, we were like, let's live off our corporate jobs. And every single dollar we make in real estate is gonna go into investments. And part of that investments was we're gonna buy real estate. And so each year we're buying 1 to 2 properties. We did that over like 2.5 years, got up to 7. Again, I just sold one last week, so we're down to 6, but we'll continue to do that. We plan on buying a rental
was
property
that
every
the
year.
headache one you wanted gone?
It was, yeah.
Yay! Okay,
Yeah, it
good.
was. Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So look, it was the first rental property I ever bought, and at that time, I didn't know what I was doing. I just took action, and people will come to me and they'll say, "I wanna buy a rental property," and they'll say, "I'm reading this book, I'm listening to this podcast." I just cut them off right there. I'm like, "Yeah, I get it. Go buy a property. Go save 50 grand, go buy a property with me, and, like, then you're gonna get all of the education you need." And so, anyways, we sold that first one because it ended up not being a great property, and that's okay because we learned so much from it, and that was the one that got us going. So, in a lot of ways, even though it was our headache, it was also the one that, like, kickstarted the entire
College.
jour it was probably the most important property we've ever bought,
Yep,
right?
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah,
And then even that, it's like you learn, right? So we taught autopsies, right? Like, what did I do? What went well? What didn't go well? What will I do better next time? And that is forever for the rest of your career and life.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just, and I love that too because as you get into rental properties, then you decide are you an appreciation investor? Are you a cash flow guy? Are you
yeah,
depreciation, lifestyle? So I love the evolution and the advice of like just do it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can't read your way into this, you can't course your way, seminar your way, you have to go do it.
Yeah, well, I think it's good advice for real estate agents. Like, you can't at some point, you just have to go do the job and fall on your face, and you'll learn as you go, and that's part of it. And I think the other side to real estate investing is like, go buy a property. It's the best education you'll ever get. Will you get bumps and bruises along the way? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Will it be worth it in 5 years? Yes, 100%. And
Well,
so,
and then it's a flex too, right? Because you had
yeah,
well, you tell the story of the guy walking into the open house, and do you remember
yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he's a great client of mine actually
Yep.
now, just so you know. Guy walks into an open house. He's looking for a nice luxury property for him and his soon to be wife and child. And we get to talking. He's like, I've always been interested in investing in real estate. And I said, well, it's funny you say that because I own 7 properties. And immediately I could see his face change, right? Because he no longer realized he was talking to like some any agent, right? He realized he was talking to an agent who's not only selling real estate, but also like is actively doing it. And like that changes the entire game when you work with investors.
Yep. Well, and then it's like you can see from some of like I'm hoping people listening are understanding like the stack and the sequencing and the compounding of what you do because it's like in my mind I'm like I think you guys will probably do more than 25 basically this year and it's just like it will
Hopefully.
keep growing because it's
Yeah.
like you're just layering and it's like all the safety nets are finally there. It's like
Yeah.
your ability to service luxury because luxury people don't realize that luxury and rental properties are very much a beautiful marriage that you know,
Well,
you
yeah.
just
I mean,
create,
I
like,
mean,
recurring clients.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta think a lot of people who are buying luxury properties have disposable income, right? And they want
Mhm,
to put that money into other assets and they want to talk about tax strategy and
mhm,
real estate investing hits all of it, right? It's somewhere where you can house your money. You can also save on taxes. Like, so the
mhm.
people who are doing really well in life, have great careers, like real estate's the number one place they're probably looking.
Yep, yep. So, and I just think it's just kind of a most real estate agents can work with buyers and sellers, and the ones that can work with buyers, sellers, and investors, I mean, their books of business explode. And then also, you're not subject to these market shifts because then it's like, great, if it's a buyer, work with whoever is in the lead for any given market, buyer, seller,
Yeah.
investor. So,
Yeah, it's true.
yeah. All right, give me like brass tacks day to day. So you're 10 million plus on your way to 25. Like what does your schedule look like? Even down to like getting up with the girls and like how do you guys
Yeah.
structure the day?
Yeah. I mean, we've had to learn as we go. All right. It wasn't perfect. We were going by the seat of our pants. Um, and so how we work now is we wake up at like 7 a.m. We get the girls ready. I have my phone on do not disturb until 9 a.m., just so you know,
Yeah,
because
good.
family time is very important to me. And what I found was when I had no boundaries, people felt like they could text me at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m. And instead of hanging out with my daughters and getting them ready for the day, I was doing business from the time I woke up till the time I went to bed. So things have evolved, but we get up at 7, we get the girls ready, we take them to daycare. And then I try to look at my day like it's a 9 to 5 every single day, right? Like, so I go to my office, which is usually a random coffee shop in Charlotte where I get to meet new people because I enjoy that. Um, and the first part of my morning, so like from 9 to probably noon, I call it eat the frog. I do all the things that I don't necessarily enjoy, but I have to do. So like the prospecting and then hopping on Instagram and doing my social door knocking, which if you know me, like I hate social door knocking. That's like my least favorite thing to do. So like 9 to 11, 9 to noon, like I'll do a lot of that kind of stuff. And then typically in the afternoon, I've got it saved for a workout at lunch. And then I go straight into showings usually. So 2 to 6, 7, I'm pretty much booked either in showings, appointments, whatever it may be. I try to keep my mornings very sacred to me because I know if I don't do the hard work from 9 to noon and the day gets away from me, there's a good chance I'm not going to do that hard work. And so nobody enjoys prospecting. Like nobody's like, "Man, I am so excited to wake up and prospect today." But like you do have to do it. You do have to do it like in the morning for me because that's when I'm my sharpest. And then I take my appointments the rest of the day. And then at the end of the day, I don't ever have to question, did I like do the work because it's already been done. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's I mean, you touched on a lot of good things. Is like you can fly by the seat of your pants and do okay in this
Yeah.
business. I will
Yeah.
acknowledge
Yeah.
that, right? Like, yeah, but it's like once you want to own a business that's predictable and like really hit like the higher kind of stratosphere of
Yeah.
production, like you have to stack your day. And I mean, it's like protect your mornings. Even if you're single, no kids, it's like the mornings need to be for you and your whatever it is you need to do there. And then I love the eat the frog and just and that is it. Like I wish I could gift that to every single person I coach is like, here's how you just do what you don't wanna do consistently,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is that it's like the boring, consistent lead follow-up, like, like, nobody wants to do any of that, and we have to do all of it consistently to hit these levels of production, and so I like how you kinda hacked that for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I had to because I'm one of those people where I just won't do it. I'll find an excuse, right? I'm too
Yeah,
busy.
same.
I've got showings, something came up. And so just taking the excuses out of it.
Yeah. Is there anything about how you think and operate that you would think would surprise other agents or, like, they wouldn't expect to hear it from you?
I think a lot of agents or colleagues I know think I'm very chill. Like that's kind of like the word that like people will use. Yeah, that's like people be like, you're so like relaxed and nice and chill. And like I hope that's how I come off, but I'm very intense. Like I'm very intense about this business. I would almost say I'm overly passionate. Like I really care about being successful at this. I also really care that like our clients are taken well care of and that our brand is really good in the market and sometimes my passion can come off as very intense. And I don't mean for it to be that way. Like I'm just a very passionate person. But I think if you asked my wife and my colleague, she would tell you like this is like one of the number one things in my life that I think about and worry about. It's like because I'm so concerned with us being successful and our clients being successful. And that does take a certain toll. But I'm not sure everybody sees that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, I see it through and through. I'm like, "He's a savage. Be
Yeah.
careful." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Those that's she's sharp."
Yeah,
Like,
like, yeah, and I don't always mean to be, but, like, I care so much,
yeah.
I really do, so it
No,
comes off that way.
it's interesting too because yeah, this business, it's like you do have to have passion for it. You do have to be sharp. You do have to want it and go after it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you won't be successful if you don't.
Yep. So, okay. So if somebody's listening and they're doing 4 to 8 million of production and they feel kind of stuck right there, like what would you force them to do over the next 90 days to get
Yeah.
production up?
Yeah, well, first, they would have to hire Marissa Boyle. That's number
Like,
1.
thank you.
That's a non-negotiable. But I think in the next 30 to 90 days, what I would say is stop worrying about selling houses right now. Like, I know you need to make money. I want you to be hyper focused on the activity every single day that maybe in 30 and 60 days you haven't sold a house, but by 90 days, can we get you 4 closings? And so the way that we would do that is like we would start the morning doing true prospecting. You have got to sit down and you've got to truly prospect. Who are my top 50 people in my life that I love that I can reach out to right now and say, I'm in this business. I want to be successful. I need referrals. Can you help me out? Right. That's number one right there is you've got to after that, it is literally real estate's a contact sport. Like I hate to say, like there's no magic wand to this. Like you need to get out in the community. So the next 30, 60, 90 days, I would tell them to write down the 100 things that they love to do. Right. And that's going to be very difficult. I would say write down 100 things that you love to do. There will be commonality in what you love to do. And of those 100 things, pick the 5 commonalities. And I want you to go join a club for every single one of them. So if you
Love
like
that
working
advice.
out, go join a gym. If you like running, go join a run club. If you like drinking beer, pick a day and go to the busiest bar in town and sit by yourself at the bar and go talk to people. Like
Yep.
I've picked up clients doing that. And so it's really going to be I want you to be hyper focused on who's already in your corner that you can leverage and then like do the contact sport activity because most people are afraid of doing that because that does get you out of your comfort zone. But in 30, 60, 90 days, if you don't have a closing, you weren't doing enough contact sport.
Yeah. I
I really
agree.
believe that. I really believe that.
And I love okay, so that's right. I love that writing down 100 things that you're interested in and then finding the threads and then go join 5 clubs. I mean,
Yeah, you'll
simple.
find a commonality
Simple, not easy.
and then go do what you enjoy.
Tell me, okay, so you know when we first start talking about, all right, put together your top 50, you're gonna have to reach out to them, ask for the business, tell them how important you are.
Yeah,
What advice would you have for people that are like, "Oh my god, that feels yucky."
yeah,
Like, how do
yeah,
you blast past that?
yeah. Get over it. Get over it.
I mean,
You
that's my
know,
advice.
I mean,
Do it.
I wrote handwritten cards to my top 50 and put like 10 cards in it and sent it out to everybody. And I was like, this is cringe. I was like, people are gonna probably open this and be like, oh my God, but it it works, right? Like
Yeah,
people that I never thought would work with me, they do. Right. And a lot of those people are in my top 50 and they send me referrals and they really look out for us. And like they truly have become an extension of our family. Like I look at it like it's kind of for us, at least, it's kind of like faith, right? God, family, friends, and then it's our clients because you truly are an extension of the business. And so, um, you've got to lean in on the people who already have your back. And like, why would you not? People want to see you succeed, right? If they genuinely love you, they want to see you succeed. So why would you not leverage that?
I agree, and then it's like, you do have to some of this stuff does feel cringy, and it's like, I'll
Yeah.
fully acknowledge I'm like, I'm the one that wrote the the whole program, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's cringy, do it
Yeah.
anyway."
Do it
Uh,
anyway. It's like, you don't have a choice,
you don't have a choice. It's like, or go get a job, right? Like, go back to corporate America.
right?
But sales, you're going to have to do things that feel cringy and
Yeah.
uncomfortable,
Yeah.
basically, and then you get the results and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna put 20 business cards next time."
Well, like even at, headed towards 50 million this year, I'm going to send out cards in a few days. It's going to be in April. And I'm going to say, hey, I have a huge goal this year. I need help. I'm going to give out more cards and I'm going to do a handwritten note to everybody in my top 50.
Love.
And it is what it is. Like people probably open it. Some people may like scoff at it or whatever. Who cares? Just
Cares.
do it. Who
Who
cares?
cares? Because it's like, you know who's important to you? Your wife and your kids.
Yeah. Right.
Like, that's what matters, and it's
Yeah.
like providing for them and do it like, that's the other thing the other thing too I like about you is, like, a lot of men, I like, it's just like, "I'm the provider and protector," and I'm like, "Are you?" You actually are, Preston, and, like,
Yeah.
you very much embody that, and that's something else I love your whole family dynamic, so
Thank you.
that's just
Yeah.
something a
Yeah.
side note I wanted to point out.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, when we're thinking about so if people thinking about $10 million agent training, who from your seat, like, who do you think it's for, and then who do you think it's not for?
$10 million agent training is for anybody that wants to truly be successful in the business. And what I mean by that is somebody who you can't just say, I want to be successful, right? Anybody can say that. You have to truly in your soul go, I'm all in. Like, no matter what happens, I'm going to make this happen. The
Yeah,
people it's not for is the people who are like, they're new agents, they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, they're unsure. You have to be so committed to this thing. And the training works. The $10 million agent training works. I'm proof of it. I went from 7 million to 11 million in a few months of just doing simple changes. And so the people that take the class and really commit, it's impossible for them to not hit 10 million if they do what you tell them to do. I really feel that way. If somebody joins the class and they can't get over their resistance, and no matter what you tell them to do, they just refuse to do it, maybe real estate's not for them, and maybe entrepreneurship's not for them, right? Because I wouldn't even just say real estate, I would say entrepreneurship in general. You can always go get a corporate job and you're not gonna have to fight resistance. You'll just be told what to do for the next 30 years and you can live a happy life. In our business, you have to do things every single day that you don't wanna do, and it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to do it, and you gotta do it anyways. And so the people that are willing to go that extra mile, this training's for them. I'll give you a perfect example. A new agent who you know extremely well, I was talking to her and she is grinding and hustling right now. And I said, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing. It is impossible for you to fail doing what you're doing." And I know she's in your training, right? And so I just can't say enough good things about the program. And I think even if you get to 15 or 20 million, this program will help you scale and get your business maybe to 30, 40, right? Like, this is for everybody who wants to be successful at any level.
yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, thank you, Preston,
Yeah.
for that. Um, and that is part of it, right, where it's, like, just learning to the resistance, and, it's like I said, I'm a medium high resistance person, so I fully get meeting the material that way, and I also fully get bring it down. You gotta
Yeah.
get it
Yeah.
lower off
Yeah.
to and just do the thing, so
Well, I mean,
there's techniques.
and here's the funny thing about resistance is I have resisted some of the things in your training. And guess what? Even just doing the bare minimum, I've seen business out of it. Like, even if I resisted and I didn't go the entire way,
Right,
I
right,
still
right.
got business out of it. So, like, even if you can just get past a little bit of the resistance, right? And just take the steps to being better every single day, you will still see results.
Yep. Well, how can people get a hold of you, Preston? So you're amazing. You, like,
Yeah.
love referrals, right? If somebody's in what can they refer you or what markets and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we work all of Charlotte. I was born and raised here in the Charlotte market, so we work literally every zip code in Charlotte. We work an hour north, south, east, and west. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's preston.harrisrealty. Not hard to find. Would love for a follow. Would love for you to send referrals. We take good care of our clients. I work with my wife, so we have tons of bandwidth. Yeah, we love to
Yeah.
work with you guys.
Can we one more question for you.
Yeah,
What is that like working with your wife? And how do you guys do it so well, and I know here's the thing. Anytime you guys observe that something looks easy or somebody is making something look easy, it is not easy. It is a lot of hard work and effort and intentionality. So can you just talk about working with
yeah,
your wife, basically?
yeah. Oh, it's ever evolving. In full transparency, we're still figuring it out. We have come a long way. We fully support and collaborate with each other. We do kind of run two separate businesses within one. And a part of that is that we're able to support each other. And then I think probably the number one thing people would be shocked by is they are just like the perfect little husband and wife couple. They're selling a bunch of real estate. Life's so easy. They've got their kids. They've got all of it together, right? Absolutely not. Like, come to my house. Like, my house is wrecked from our kids. Like, me and Lauren probably just had like a small tiff with each other about, I disagreed with her on something she did with a client or vice versa. I mean, it's not perfect. And you don't see what happens behind closed doors. Here's the main thing that I would tell anybody that's working with their spouse that I've learned is like, you have got to be each other's biggest cheerleader. And if you do that, you're not going to fail. So, like, with Lauren, like, I've never really critiqued the way she does business. Like, and the times I have, like, it didn't go well. What I've learned is like, if I can be Lauren's biggest cheerleader, that's how I'll make her successful. So every single day I'm going, what do you need help with? You're crushing it. I love you. What do you need from me today? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the bigger of a cheerleader that I become for her and the bigger the cheerleader she becomes for me, the more successful we become. And so if I could just tell spouses who work together one thing that I've learned in the last year, be each other's biggest supporters, cheerleaders, and always let love win. Always.
Yeah.
And if you do that, it's gonna be hard for you to not succeed together. It'll be hard.
Yeah. And I like it too. It's like you guys lean in, right? You
Yeah.
guys lean in way more than you ever lean out. And so
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out because I'm like, you, by the way, the two of you do make it look really easy. And I
Thank you.
know full
Thank you.
well it's not. So
It
I
is
just
not.
wanted to kind of
It is
say that.
not.
I'm like, it's
I
not
mean,
easy.
we wake up every morning, we're like, "Oh my gosh, we've got so much to do today." But that's the great part of it too, like, we get to build this life together.
Yes. And that's the other thing too is like every morning waking up it's just like that gratitude and appreciation of like you chose this life and you're
Yeah.
creating it and you get to do it.
Yeah.
So,
And we work way harder now than we did in corporate, like, our lives are way more crazy, chaotic, and stressful. We wouldn't have it any other way. We chose this life, this is our vision, and, like, we're living to it.
yeah, I love it. All right, well, if anybody's watching and you're listening and you're like, "I know I'm capable of more," we want you in the group. I will put the link. It's simple to join. You can come on a Monday at 1 o'clock Zoom, get some info. We'd love to have you in there and have you as another success story. So it's like Preston Harris. Keep watch on him. He'll hit that 25 this year.
Absolutely. And Marissa, thanks for having me on. I think you already know this, but I can't say enough good things about you personally,
Thank you.
professionally. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
Bye.